from the group 2. And I am the first speaker. I am Deck Cadet Lanyas Raymond Abapo, and my member is Deck Cadet Gidigamo, Deck Cadet Ebarle, Deck Cadet Eborda, Deck Cadet Ereno, Deck Cadet Garbosa, Deck Cadet Gidokyo, Deck Cadet Intoy, Deck Cadet Inongtan. So our assigned topic is all about explain the effects of the wind, carriage, squat, shallow water on the ship, handling with maintaining safety of navigation. So let's start. The effects of the wind ship handling. Vessel head to wind with headway. Vessel making headway through the water and heading directly into the wind. W is now forward of amidship. In fact, it's very close to P. The wind is exerted to no turning moment or sideways force on the vessel. A comparatively small change in relative wind direction, either by alteration, course, or wind fluctuation, will place wind the vessel bow. The wall of the one side of the vessel will now be exposed to the wind. The W will move up. So, as you can see, it's very important for the ship navigator to steer the ship considering wind that affects the ship can be steered efficiently without any difficulty. The effects of the wind, the ship handling, vessel head to wind with headway. The following effects will now be experienced. A. The turning force will now develop a turning moment about P, tending to turn the vessel in the wind again. B. The wind force will also develop sideways force on the vessel away from the exposed side. Head to wind, therefore, the vessel's course stable, provided that she maintained headway through the water. If the ship has a large trim by the stern, W will be further forward. With a reduction or even loss of course stability, this is sometimes result in rapid and violent loss of control. So as what I have said earlier, that it is very important for the ship navigator to steer the ship considering the wind effects of that can she steered efficiently without any difficulty. So the next speaker is Deck Cadet Eborda. So Deck Cadet Eborda, it's your turn.
Hi, I'm Deck Cadet Borda. So this is a continuation to the report of Deck Cadet Lanyas about the effects of wind on ship handling. Vessel remains head to wind, but now start to make sternway through the water. W remains forward whilst P has moved aft. The wind is exerting no turning moment or sideways force. A comparatively small change in the relative direction of the wind will move W up. However, P remains aft of W. The following effects will now be experienced. A. The wind force will develop a strong turning moment about P, tending to turn the vessel's bow further away from the wind. B. The wind force will develop a sideways force on the vessel, away from the exposed side. Head to wind as soon as the vessel starts to make sternway through the water. She loses course stability and the bow will pay off away from the wind, sometimes quiet rapidly. If the ship has a large trim by the stern, W may move further forward, perhaps quickly, and the loss of course stability is even more pronounced. This can sometimes result in a rapid and violent loss of control.
Good day, I'm Deck Cadet Digamo Lawrence, and I'm here to discuss about the effects of wind on ship handling. Vessels turn to wind with headway. So, vessel making headway through the water and with the wind directly astern. P is forward. So this is our P. A long distance from W, which as well aft. So W is our aft. A comparatively small change in relative wind direction will move W forwards. However, W is still some distance above P. The following effects will now be experienced. Letter A. The wind force will develop a strong turning moment about P, tending to turn the vessel stern further away from the wind. Letter B. The wind force will develop a sideways force on the vessel, away from the exposed side, making headway with stern to wind. The vessel loses course stability and is difficult to steer. This effect is greater than there is also a following sea or swell. If the ship has large trim by the stern, W may move further forward and loss of course stability may be generally less pronounced but still a potential danger. So, I'm gonna give to the next reporter. Thank you for listening.
So, good day. I am Mart Vicente Barley. So, vessel stern to wind making sternway. Vessel making sternway through the water and with the wind directly astern. P has moved aft fairly close to W, which remains even further aft. A change in relative wind direction will eventually move W forward of P. Following effects will be experienced. A. The wind force will develop a turning moment about P, tending to turn the vessel's stern back into the wind. B. The wind force will develop a sideways force on the vessel, away from the exposed side, making sternway through the water with stern to wind. The vessel is gained course stable. If the ship has a large stream by the stern, W may more further forward, generally improving course stability. However, with such a trim, there is always the possibility of unpredictable loss of control. So, that's all. So, next reporter.
I'm Cadet Mart Vincent De Reno, and I'm the number 7 presenter, and this is my slide. The effects of ocean current. Effects of current are important, especially when the ship is under the effect of the shore winds. Near offshore platforms, while maneuvering in narrow channels and open seas, or inland waters or harbors, when the ship is in harbors or inland waters and the current is on constant strength and direction, the ship handling becomes considerably easier. However, navigational officers should take into account the different current streams that can exist over a small area, within which the vessel has to maneuver. The main difference between currents and winds is that currents affect the ship in definite and predictable ways, unlike the wind does. Even in open waters, when the ship is approaching a rig or mooring buoy, due to allowance should be made for effect of the current for a safer maneuver. Current from ship ahead will reduce the speed over ground, improve ship response to rudder, and also give more time to access and correct developing situation. The next presenter is Garbosa.
Good day, sir. I'm Cadet Garbosa. Today, I'll report the squat effect. When a ship moves through the shallow water, some of the water displaced rushes under the vessel to rise again at the stern. This decreases the upward pressure on the hull, making the ship sink deeper in the water than normal and slowing the vessel. This is known as squat effect, which increases with the speed of the vessel. Without going into any more mathematical complexities, let us now understand the squat effect. Let us consider the figure of the ship is restricted waters. So the next reporter will be Hidokyo.
Good day everyone. Good day sir. I'm Decade Channel Docu.
the topic assigned the squat and effect. A ship is flying in the shallow water. If a Z and a Y be the underwater clearance and force of the respectively, then the observably from the diagram it the evident that the Z greater than Z. Thus, clearance under the nil and the point at the E is the greater than at the point of B. Now from the contently equation we know that the velocity of the flow of the water, it is considered to be non-viscous and incompressible. At the stern is the greater than that of the bow, or simply the flow is the asymmetric. But Bernoulli is a principle tell us that we increase in speed of the flow at the B. There's a degrees of all-around pressure at the B, which means that at B at the steam, the ship will sink further and will touch the channel bed. If the vessel is trimmed by the head, the bow will tend to sit in the mud because of the less pressure. This is the squat effect. The squat effect increases double with speed. If the ship is sinking x centimeter due to the squat effect due to the speed, then will sink 4x centimeter and 2y speed. Thus, to minimize squat, the pilot or the master of the ship is a maintains low speed. If the pilot says that we know considerable change in the sharp speed, the vessel is slowing down, then the squat is happen, he should immediately reduce the speed to minimize the squat effect. That's all my topics all about.
Good day, sir. I'm Deck Cadet Wilbur Z. Intoy. So this time I will gonna report is all about shallow water on ship handling while maintaining safety of navigation. A ship directional stability and maneuverability change considerably as a function of the available UKC, especially in natural waterways, river and estuaries, where water extent may vary significantly both over the channel and over the tidal cycle. A ship maneuvering characteristic may be subjected to essential changes transit through the canal. To ensure safe navigation while approaching shallow water, it is master responsibility, who must calculate precisely under keel clearance requirement for the vessel and ensure that remains afloat all the times. Recommended safe under keel clearance UKC are follows. Open sea, if AOP, the minimum UKC in dynamic condition is 50% of the static draft. Second is restricted waters, port approaches, harbor transits. SBE, the minimum UKC in dynamic condition is 10% of the static draft. Third is tanker only, SBM, CBM, mooring. The minimum UKC is 50% of the static draft. And last, alongside, first line ashore to SBE for vessel is 20 meters breadth, and next is 0.30 meters, and for vessel, 20 meters breadth, 1.5% of the ship beam. The next speaker is Inotan.
Shallow water and ship handling while maintaining safety of navigation. A ship directional stability and maneuverability change considerably as a function of the available UKC, especially in natural waters, rivers, estuaries, where the water extent may vary significantly both over the channel and over the tidal cycle. A ship maneuvering characteristics may be subjected to essential changes transit through the canal. To ensure safe navigation while approaching shallow water, it is the master's responsibility who must calculate precisely under keel clearance requirements of the vessel and ensure that remains afloat at all times, confined or shallow waters. It must be remembered that the vessel handling characteristics will be changed when navigating in shallow water or narrow channels, and on the close approach or to other ships. The effect of shallow water on a ship is more ship's power is absorbed by the water due to increased friction. Usually, sinkage is greater forward than aft of ship or tanker. Speed and displacement in any depth. Turbulence interference with rudder and propeller effectiveness. Signs that ship has entered shallow water conditions can be wave making increase at the forward end of the ship. So, shallow water and ship handling while maintaining safety of navigation. Confined or shallow waters. 6. RPM indication will show a decrease if the ship is in open water. In open water conditions, without breath restrictions, that is decrease may be 15% of the service RPM. If the ship is in a confined channel, this decrease in RPM can be about 20% of the service RPM. There will be a drop in speed if the ship is in open water. On open water conditions, it may amount to a drop of 60% of the service speed. The ship may start to vibrate suddenly because of the entrained water effect, causing the natural hull frequency to become resonant with another frequency. And last is pitching reduces due to cushioning effect of water under the keel.
So, that's it for today. Thank you guys, thank you cadets, and thank you sir for listening. Have a great day everyone, and keep safe. God bless.
Give a damn about a hater when I feel like it. Not today, not today.